On 1st and 10, Smith. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Davis. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
The first carry for the rookie, it's Darius Geis. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Set, line, 80. Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Off of play action, here's Smith. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. And it's 3rd and 4.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tough roll that they can fall back on anymore.
And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Smith now to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play. They'll run with Thompson. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Liz.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything.
And the pressure gets to him again. Tack McKinley in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He sets to fire deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. He's at the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 47 yards in Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work his way down to the 16. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Zach Brown leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They start the drive with Peterson. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And he is going to lose yardage here. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st down, Smith. Looking deep here for Mack. And this is caught. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. That goes for a gain of 31. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On the ground, Geis. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He's going to get it running right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith on the move to his left. Buying time to his left. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Vernon Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Hopkins with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Atlanta now coming out on the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. First down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tech McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, here's Smith. And that is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now Smith. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. Bust through the tackle. Macklin, the intended receiver.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. After the interception, here's Ryan. Trying to lay one up, and this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So quick on the spin.
Oh, he's spinning, man.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, it's Smith. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They go play action here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, Tuesday. Let's go.
Throwing again. Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
21. Hey, it's
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
It's not a bad idea. Set up in the gun. Send a bunch of guys out wide and let the defense think you're going to try and put one in the end zone. But here, the draw play just gets bottled up from the start, and they'll wind up losing yardage.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing is Smith. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Ryan. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Hall. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes, and the Falcons will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the 2nd half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pernell McPhee, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
21. 11.
From the gun, Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's go. Left.
Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, wait. Hey, South. Gun.
Operating from the gun. Ryan. He's airing it out for Sanu. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 12. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting him at this point.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Smith. Looking left side. That's caught by Macklin. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Smith on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Smith from the gun, he'll throw. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On second down, here's Ryan. He's going to launch this thing. And this is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Orange.
They run it here with Thompson. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Had his hands on it. Couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This will be fielded at the 17. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on it.
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the Falcons grab it. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Smith. And Davis with it left side. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. He's got Thompson here, complete. That one goes for 24 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Smith. And my goodness, another interception. It's Desmond Trufant. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
54, Sam!
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A 20th carry now for Devontae Freeman. And Freeman lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air. Smith on second down. He's going to look deep down the field. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing on third down, Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Desperation time for Smith on fourth down. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go, 15, 15.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey,